This outdoor education lesson is on identifying mammal tracks. With mammals, there are 4 different track patterns: the pacer, the diagonal walker, the bounder, and the galloper. The pacer pattern is characteristic of wide, heavy-set animals, where the front and back foot move together as the animal waddles along. Bears, raccoons, porcupines, and beavers all leave this pattern of tracks. The front foot is often an oval shape, with the back foot being a much larger half-oval shape, looking very similar to those of a human. Diagonal walkers often leave a nearly straight line of prints, with the back foot sometimes stepping on the tracks made by the front foot. Canines, such as dogs, wolves, foxes, and coyotes, felines, such as cats, bobcats, and lynxes, and ungulates, which are hoofed animals, often leave this type of print. The shape of a feline print is generally round with no claws shown. Canines have an oval-shaped track where the claws show and toe size varies among species. Ungulate tracks are heart-shaped, though the toes can spread and dew claws may show. The bounder pattern consists of tracks evenly spaced in pairs or bunches, showing the bounding motion and characteristic of those with short legs and long bodies. Almost all members of the weasel family leave this kind of track. The tracks of a bounder are a rectangular shape and sometimes show claw marks, depending on the species. The galloper pattern is left by animals whose hind legs land in front of their front legs while running. The front feet may be diagonal or side by side, depending on the species that left the tracks. A galloper's front feet form a circle shape, whereas the back feet form an oval or narrow rectangle. Sometimes an elbow shows on the back feet, and sometimes there is a tail drag. An activity included with this lesson would include having students form into groups of 4 to 6 and going outside to find and identify tracks, which would then be sketched or photographed. The students would then report their findings back to the instructor. Alright, so it looks like we've got in some fresh snow. So hopefully we'll be able to see some tracks at this point. I'm thinking we might have some squirrel, maybe some rabbit or weasel, and definitely a couple of dogs. Let's see what we can find. Upon first looking at this track, you can definitely tell that it's a diagonal walker. If you look at it closely, you can see the shape of the individual track, and though it's surprising since it's so close to a road, it looks like we've got a deer here. Someone's been skiing out here. Looks like we've got some human-made tracks, but across them we can see, looking from the sides, you can tell it's a galloper and it's small, and since the front feet are side by side, it's almost definitely a squirrel. Here we've got some dog prints, and you can tell mainly just by the individual shape. There's the characteristic paw print and also some claw marks, which label it as a member of the canine family. Since this is a widely used trail, I'm going to assume that it's someone's pet dog. A few weeks ago we were out here and there were some weasel tracks right here, but it looks like our weasel friend hasn't been back here. Here are some tracks, probably from the dog that just walked by. since they're really fresh. Here are some more deer tracks. Now it's hard to tell whether it's one deer or two since the tracks are so close together. This one has a great example of the dew claw that is sometimes left behind. And you can see that the marks go off away from the trail. It looks like here we've got another set of squirrel tracks. I was definitely not expecting to find so many deer tracks out here. And in the background you can probably hear the chickadees, although, it would be a bit harder to find their tracks out in the snow. Here are some more squirrel tracks, and from how far they are apart, it looks like this squirrel was moving very fast. The size of an animal can be told from how large the tracks are or the track grouping is, and the speed it can usually be told from the distance between the tracks. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson on mammal tracks, and hopefully now you'll be able to identify any tracks that you find. Happy tracking!